Hi, welcome to another issue of Home Projects with Carpenter. I'm Andy Carpenter, and I got another little project. I have some outdoor lighting that I want to install here in my patio area, and I don't have a box. So over here, you might be able to see, I got one of these floodlights right here, and so I know I have power in this wall. But what I want to do is install another receptacle so that I can plug it in, and I want that to be attached to a switch on the inside. So I ran the wiring yesterday, but what you see is I've got a piece of Romex dangling out here, and that's on a switch. And then I'm going to install one of these boxes. The best thing I found was one of these outdoor rated boxes that has 4 holes on the outside. I got this from Lowe's, and it has actually some threaded holes on the outside, so there's one on the bottom, one on the top, and then one in the middle. I'm not going to use the threading, but I'm going to use the Romex to actually go through and penetrate, and then they give you plugs that you can enclose these so that you don't have any, so it's weather tight. So I'm going to run the Romex through here and then do all the wiring for the outlet, and then I'm going to put it on one of those covers that has that that little clear plastic thing to protect for the weather. But in order to do that, I'm using these Tapcons. So I just got the 3/16 by 1 1/4 inch, and then one of these drill bits. So I marked it already out, so I'm gonna put the Romex pull through here and then run the Tapcons on the outsides. This is probably the easiest way to get the box on the outside. Okay, so with Tapcons, what you have to do is you have to use a special bit. It's like a masonry bit. It has a special tip on it. It doesn't, probably carbide steel or something like that. But anyway, it's a lot harder, and you can punch through any of the stucco. So all I'm doing is using these 1 1/4 Tapcon screws. They're blue, but you pre-drill them, so you don't want to do anything without pre-drilling those. I've also got the hole for the Romex is just gonna go right through here like this, and I've already marked it out. So I've got 4 little blue marks along the corners around here. So those marks are just for, where the screw holes are going to be. Okay, so I'm drilling in these Tapcons. The 2 on the right went in pretty easily, and then I had to mark the other one on the left. But you want to make sure that you actually use it as a guide, because otherwise you get the holes to misalign. So here's what the finished product looks like with the Tapcons installed. You want to be careful not to go too far, because you can actually, because of the torque on that thing, you can actually strip out all the masonry through there, and then you are having the screw just kind of floating inside there. So be careful that you go just so it's snug. And then with all 4 of them, you have a pretty solid, secure fit. So I did install the plugs already. So the top and the bottom already have, you can kind of see inside, there's the threads right in here for the plug. But or inside where that hole is, but the plug's keeping it open. And so now we'll wire this thing up. Since it's outdoor, I'm going to put a GFI in here. The lighting will just be suspended from this header, and I'll repaint it and get rid of some of those old joist hangers. And then I'm going to extend it so it's going to go zigzag back and forth across, and I'm going to put some cabling across that run right there, and that's going to be the for the lighting. Okay, so I'm going to be using a GFI switch for out here, or not GFI switch, but a GFI outlet for out here. That'll go inside here. It's got a reset and a tester. I already checked that the power was off, so we're good on that. I usually leave myself about, I'm just kidding. If you ever get a chance to check out the coolest YouTube channel for electrical, is ElectroBOOM. That guy is the most hilarious guy. He's awesome. before I get it all put back in, I'm actually going to test it out, make sure it's working right. I'm going to flip the switch side. Okay, so there's a few ways you can test your circuit out. You can turn it off, so I'm testing, and then I'm resetting it here. So if it's red, it's off. Also, you can test it with one of these circuits. Actually, before that, these are not really testers. I mean, they're little. They tell you if things are hot or not, and you can tell if it's hot or not. So it'll tell you just by audio, and it's the right side that's always going to be your hot side. Should be left side should be nothing. Nothing. Okay. So that just tells you if it's hot or not, but it doesn't really give you much. See, it's hot on this side. Nothing over on this side. This is a little tester you can throw in here and test for the lighting. See if the lighting, it gives you a little indication if it's wired up correctly or not. And these ones, it's hard to see on there. So it says correct. You can also do a test with these. Okay. So that tripped it, and it's got a GFI tester on here, and you can reset it and reset perfectly. So that's all wired up right. So now I'm gonna do that. And the last thing I'll just show you, if you actually want to check the voltage, you need a voltmeter. You know, you just select voltage for AC or DC, and it's got a little probe in here. I can select on here. So I've got for my voltage across here. Let me see if I got enough. I got 120 volts here. All right, 120 volts. Okay, good. So we're all set on. Okay, here's just the last little bit before you put the cover on. Just wanted to show I was putting that thing on right. Okay, so that's all in. It's got a little lever right here, so you can open it up. A couple things I'll point out. They do have a little slot right here, so you can slide this out if you have something permanently installed in there. You can have it. That's what I'm going to do. Is I'm actually going to have it run the plug for my lights underneath that, so that it'll be able to kind of fit through that little slot right there. So I'll just store that away for later. The other thing is, it's got these two screws here and here, and it's got a little slot that you slide it out. So you have these screws that are attaching the fixture, the receptacle, to the box itself, and then you unscrew those, you back those out just a little bit, and then you slide the entire enclosure with the faceplate over it. It slides on and to the right. So it slides on and to the right, so it gets all lined up like that, and then you finish screwing those in. I just did those by hand. But other than that, that's about it. There you go. All right, so thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, just hit the like or subscribe button. That's just installing a outdoor receptacle with that's attached to a switch. I'll do the wiring in a different video, but this is good for just getting an outdoor box. I think that's probably the easiest way to get one out. Thanks.
That was in the video.